Hello and welcome to this week's tutorial on Adobe InDesign. This week we're going to be discussing the frames feature of the program and how we can better utilize frames in our document to insert pictures. There are a couple different frames when referencing InDesign that we need to go over. The first is a text frame, which you gather by grabbing your text tool and simply drawing out a text box. This is what's referred to as a text frame because it holds text. The frame which we are going to be discussing is utilized by using the rectangle frame tool, or if you left click and hold, you also have an ellipse tool and a polygon frame tool. Although you're not limited to just these shapes, any shape you would draw with the pen tool, for example, is essentially a frame that you can put an image into if you would choose to do so. What you want to do when you're starting to lay out frames in your document is to make sure you are in the correct view mode. Currently, I am in the normal view of Adobe InDesign, meaning that I can see the bleed of the document if there's one set up. I can also see all of my guides. And in this case, if you notice here on this page, I already have a frame in place that is empty where I plan on putting in an image. If you do not have this view available, go up underneath your view option and screen mode, and you want to make sure that your display is set to normal. If you're on preview, for example, you're not going to be able to see any of your frames or any of your guides. And the only way you would know if a frame is there is if you scroll over top of it and it gets highlighted. So we're going to go ahead and switch our screen mode back to normal view so we can see our frames. And normally when you place images into InDesign, you typically use the File Place method, where you go up to the File menu and select Place. And we'll say we want to use this image here. I'll go ahead and open this image up and place it in the document. Now you'll notice that this picture is quite larger than the layout that I plan on putting it into. And if you place images using this method, you then have to take your free transform tool and holding down your shift key and grabbing one of the corners, you can scale the image down proportionally to make it fit where you'd want the image to go. A much more efficient way to place images in your document is using the frames tool. For example, I already have a frame drawn out here, and I will go ahead and redraw this frame for the demonstration. So I'll go ahead and delete this frame out of here. In order to draw a frame, you grab your rectangle frame tool, which is the shape I'm wanting for this purpose. You left click and hold and drag out the shape you are wanting for your frame. And in this case, right there looks good. Go ahead and release the mouse, and you have an empty frame that you're able to put an image into. Now, to place an image inside of a frame, there are a couple ways you can do it. You can make sure the frame is selected by left clicking on it to where you have the handlebars available. And you can go up to File, Place, select the image, and it places it directly into your frame. Another way you can import an image into a frame without having it selected is simply go into File, Place, select the image again, and this time on our thumbnail view, I'm going to actually left click inside of this frame and it will put the image in there. Now the image, since this image is much bigger than this frame, is not showing the picture as we would want it to display. One way we can fix this is by going up to our Object menu, going to Fitting, and choose Fill Frame Proportionally. And this will take that image and fill this frame proportionally to the size of this frame. And if you want to see the exact dimensions of this picture as it resized it, you can click on your direct selection tool, click on the image. You'll notice these blue outlines here with the handlebars. This is actually the bottommost part of the image, and this is the uppermost part of the image, and the sides are fit perfectly. We can also move this picture inside of this frame with the direct selection tool by keeping the picture selected and either using the mouse to left click and hold. You can move the picture around as you would choose to do so. You can also, if you would like, use your arrow keys to move the image up or down. That is one way to place images into a frame. Another way we can do this is let's go ahead and draw a frame from scratch. I'm going to grab my rectangle frame tool. I'm going to come over here, right in about the middle of the page, and using my guides that I have set up, I'm going to go ahead and place an empty frame here for an image. And now before I ever place my image into this frame, I'm going to go ahead and set my properties for it, so as soon as I place the image, it automatically has it resized to the size I would like. In order to do that, we have the frame selected, go up to Object, Fitting, Frame Fitting Options, and you're going to choose to do fitting. In this case, I want to fill frame proportionally. You want to leave the crop amount to 0 so it doesn't alter the image oddly when you insert it into your frame. I'm going to say OK. And this time I'm actually going to go up and do File, Place. And in this case I'll look at a couple different images here. So we want to do this image. I'll go ahead and hit Open. And it automatically has that image proportionally fit in this frame. So if I direct select on it, it has it fit basically by the vertical space and not necessarily the horizontal space. But I can still use my arrow keys to move the image left or right. The next thing we can take a look at is maybe using the ellipse tool in the frame options. So I'm going to go ahead and get that tool, come over here. I'm going to once again draw out a frame. Let's go ahead and place a picture in this frame. I'll go ahead, File, Place, and we can go ahead and use this image for example. Open. And there's the image placed inside that circle, which gives us a neat effect that you otherwise would have to do inside of Photoshop. I'll go up to Object again, Fitting, and fill frame proportionally. And we can shrink that image down to give ourselves a nice circle effect on our image. And this can be applied to any shape you would choose to do with a frame. So I can grab the pen tool for example, and we'll just get a little bit crazy here and draw a random shape with our pen tool. And this is actually considered a frame. So if I wanted to place an image inside here, I can simply click on the frame or the outline I created with the pen tool, and I can go ahead and put an image inside that frame. With our pen drawn shape now selected, I'm going to go up to the File, Place command, and pick another image. We'll go ahead and insert this image for example. Go ahead and place it. And you'll notice it now fits the shape that we have created with our pen tool. So the possibilities are endless with how you would like to place your photographs into your document, either using the traditional frames that are provided, which are the rectangle, ellipse, and polygon, or you can get creative with your pen tool and draw any shape you would like and put the image directly inside of there. And just to go over once again how you resize these and get them to fit appropriately inside of this frame, select the frame, go up to Object, Fitting, and we'll go ahead and fill frame proportionally. So I hope you're able to get some valuable information out of this tutorial, and we'll see you next week.